Tonight at 6, investigators say that an Amazon Echo may help prove who killed two women in Farmington, New Hampshire. The victims were found murdered in a home on Meterboro Road back in 2017. Police arrested Timothy Verrill for the crimes. Investigators believe that the entire attack was recorded on the victim's Amazon Echo in the kitchen. A judge has now ordered Amazon to provide any audio recordings from the speaker. Verrill has pleaded not guilty in the case.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. And this is exactly how they do it. This is how they steal your privacy away without people realizing what they're trying to do. Stories like this come out where they say, can you believe it? The Amazon Echo or the Google Home device actually helps solve a murder. Maybe we need more technology like this in our homes, on our street corners and everywhere there is, so that we can solve all murders and all cases, and we could even predict murders before they happen, because don't forget that that's happening as well, right? Oh, we can monitor somebody's behavior and we could save a murder from happening beforehand. I mean, it's really ridiculous. But read between the lines of the story, right? How they're going to use the recordings of this Amazon Echo to hopefully solve a murder case, right? Police think Alexa may have witnessed a double murder. Now they want Amazon to turn her over, right? So the thing that somebody's going to focus on when they hear this story immediately is going to be, oh, wow, that's so interesting and fascinating. You know, it's going to solve a murder. But really what people should be thinking is, why is the Alexa recording? It wasn't like it was asked to record or anything like that. So it's just sitting in your home recording you, right? Recording you having sex, recording you doing whatever. You could be joking around with somebody and somebody could find it offensive or hate speech or turn it into a hate crime, right? But nobody's thinking that. Nobody's going, yeah, probably a bad idea to have these devices in our home since they're, openly recording us. And I'm not naive. I'm aware that, for the most part, smart TVs, computers are recording. Even if you put tape over the camera, they might not have the video of you, but they're recording constantly. You got to look at it from this perspective, because people say, well, America, you're free. They pretty much have us all in prison, right? We're in prison to our homes which we never own because we always pay taxes on the house, right? No matter what, even if you pay your house off, the government still owns the land. And even if you own the land. And what they do is, obviously they're not going to fill up every prison cell. I know people think, all the FEMA camps are going to be completely filled. And yeah, I believe for the most part, the FEMA camps will be filled with Christians, but they've turned the home into a prison. So they trick you into thinking you're free. They control your mind with propaganda news and propaganda television. Then you're in your home where you think you're free and you're safe, and they're just recording you and monitoring you around the clock. So if they deem you a threat to the government or they deem you a threat to commit a crime, they can just come and arrest you, and all they have to do is say, well, and people out there will go, yeah, okay, well, I don't care, whatever, it's not happening to me. And then little by little, it's like, what privacy and what rights do you have left? You're under surveillance 24/7. You live in a surveillance state. But people don't care because they go, well, I'm not hiding anything. Oh, yeah, until you slip up and say something that they don't agree with. Or until suddenly, the more censorship that goes on with free speech, people suddenly will find that they're not even allowed to hit on women anymore because it's hateful and sexual harassment and Harvey Weinstein stuff. So a judge in New Hampshire thinks Amazon Alexa may be the key to cracking a murder case. On January 27, 2017, this is a current story, but on January 27, 2017, Kristen Sullivan and her friend Jenna Pellegrini were brutally stabbed to death in the kitchen of Sullivan's home in Farmington, where she lived with her boyfriend. They reported at the time. Oh, okay. So the murder did happen then. But now what they're saying is shortly after, Timothy Verrill was arrested by Massachusetts State Police and charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder. He pleaded not guilty to both. It's believed that the women were murdered over suspicions that they were going to report an illegal drug operation. In court this past Friday, state prosecutors alleged that Alexa, the virtual assistant developed by Amazon, was on the kitchen counter at the time of the murder and may have recorded the entire thing, including the removal of the bodies, which were found underneath the front porch. From what they present it as, right? They present Amazon, Alexa, and the Echo and all these things. They present it as, hey, put it in your house, and then you could be like, Alexa, play Love is a Battlefield by Pat Benatar. Oh, and then the song plays, right? And people are like, oh, that's so neat and so cool. Oh, Alexa, where's the closest pizza place? Because I'm too lazy to figure it out. Oh, okay, and they give you the answer, right? And they present it as that. Meanwhile, nobody's going, why is the Alexa recording all of this? What right does Amazon have? What do you have to agree to a waiver when you buy this stupid thing and put it in your house that they have the right to record you? Nobody's in an uproar over that, right? Because they'll present stories like this and they'll tell people, listen, we can make it mandatory to have these in people's homes. Well, they won't do that because people are going to willingly continue to buy this crap, right? That's why they don't have to force anything on anyone. They just use mind control and they convince people that this is what they need and this is what's best. I mean, look at cell phones, right? When they first came out, everybody, I had a cell phone when the cell phone first came out. I'm sure most of you did, which I think was like the late 90s. I'm not talking about the car phone, the actual cell, with Verizon and everybody. And it was just like, what is the point of this? Everyone was like, everyone had room lines, house lines. We're all looking at each other like, is there really a point? Now it's like, if somebody loses their phone for a day, they catch fire. They jump out the window. They can't take it. Their head explodes. All my data, all my pictures, everything on my phone. I need my phone, right? You want to see somebody go turn into the thing from The Exorcist? Go grab their phone and throw it in the water. They'll probably murder you. Not kidding. I mean, millennials and stuff, they can't live without their devices. It's pretty insane. But eventually, right, it started off where it was like, what's the point? I don't really need it. To continue to evolve, continue to tell you why you needed it. And then everybody has a cell phone. Now it's weird. People laugh at me because I have a flip phone. And it's not because, I can't afford a what do I need a smartphone for? I have a computer if I want to go on the internet. When I'm out, I don't need to be running on my device to look something up. The phone, I don't even want to have a phone in general, but it's just for emergencies for the most part. But people look at you like you're crazy if you don't have an iPhone or a smartphone. It's insane. All right, so it'll be the same thing with this. They'll start saying, well, look, it's solving crimes. Look, it's doing this. Same with the cars, with the smart cars. Oh, look, the amount of the death rate has dropped 70%. Car accidents are down 70% thanks to the smart car. And people will be like, oh, I got to get one. I don't want to die in a car accident. Even though I'm leaving it totally up to the control of a robot, which, I think I'd rather leave it up to myself than a robot, right? And this is how they continue to trick a dumbed-down society. A society that's covered in fluoride vaccinations and chemtrails who can't think for themselves. It said in court Friday, state prosecutors alleged that Alexa, the virtual assistant, I read that part already, that it recorded this stuff, so they're trying to get this information from Amazon. It says following the hearings, the judge ordered Amazon to turn over every recording Alexa may have made from the day that the two girls were murdered. The court finds there is probable cause to believe the server and or records maintained for or by Amazon contain recordings made by Echo. So not only is it recording you without your permission, all of this stuff is just getting saved on a server somewhere by Amazon, right? Because where's all this getting saved? It's not getting, it's going somewhere. It's getting shot up somewhere onto a cloud, and they're saving all this information. I mean, it's scary when you think about it. The more technology we allow into our homes, the less privacy we have. We think that, but then this gets ridiculous. I mean, we know that they record and they do that stuff, but I mean, they're saving this stuff. Now they're going to let the Alexa robot pretty much solve a crime. Oh, and you're telling me the Alexa robot can't, imitate somebody's voice? I mean, they have that technology. They could take my voice, or your voice, and they could alter it and make you say something you didn't say. I mean, you see it in movies and with CGI and all that stuff all the time. So technology continuing to destroy humanity is really what's going on here. Scary that people would even allow a device like this in your home. And I get it. People, I don't want to, people get all upset if I'm like, how lazy or stupid can you be? Fine, you want something that plays your music because you can't go look it up and it's more convenient. Is it worth the risk? Or is it worth having this? And you might say, well, yeah, because now, Alexa might record a murder if I ever get murdered and we can figure it out. I mean, really? Boy. Taking away our rights without even telling us. And the big story behind this really, should be about the fact that why is this being recorded? Why is Alexa doing it? Because obviously the murderer didn't go in the house and go, hey, Alexa, start recording. And the two women who were getting murdered didn't go, while they're getting stabbed or whatever happened, hey, Alexa, start recording my murder. It was just doing it automatically on its own, thinking on its own in somebody's house, right? The real lawsuit should be to Amazon. and saying, do you really have the right to do this? But of course, we know that they're going to get it. I mean, look how big Amazon is and how big Google is. And they're the two front runners in putting this type of technology into people's home, right? Google Home, the Alexa, the Amazon Echo, right? So nothing's going to ever happen to them. I mean, Amazon's like the richest company on the planet, and so is Google. So here they are, they're pretending to be, internet searches and a store online. And really what they're doing is just the New World Order's bidding. It's disgusting and it's frightening. So whatever you do, don't fall for this type of propaganda and get one of these things in your home. It's an absolute mistake. And thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.